Hey guys, so I'm back again. This time I'm gonna be comparing some performance GPD Win 1 to MOQI i7S. But before we get started, I want to just show you guys the prices of this device quickly, since there are a few comments asking about this. So where I got it from was on Taobao. So on Taobao they're selling it for 2,300 Chinese yuan right here. So that's about 265 pounds, UK pounds. But that's only in China. And they're actually doing an Indiegogo page right now. I think it's only just ended. And on the Indiegogo page, they're planning on shipping it worldwide. And the Indiegogo price they were selling at $400 US. But if you missed that, it's gone up to $700. So that's gonna be like 545 pounds. So if that's the case, like, I would totally not recommend this device because I do not think it's worth this much. Like, if that's the price you have to pay for it, I might as well just pay a bit more and go for GPD Win 2 instead, since you can play a lot more on there. But if you can get it around the same price as Win 1, even the Win 1's pretty expensive, but that's on Amazon, so, or GPD XD. If you can get a price similar to GPD XD Plus, I would actually recommend getting the MOQI i7S instead of the XD Plus, because like the specs on the MOQI i7S is way better than the XD Plus, despite the certain aspects being inferior, like the dual back triggers and the L3 and R3 buttons, and the obviously better Android system launcher. But that's out the way for now, and let's get into showing some Dolphin comparisons, or just some games in general. So with the Win 1, the benefits of that is you can play like PC games on here, but with the MOQI i7S you're kind of limited to just certain emulators and just Android games. But if you're comparing phone games to let's say if you want to play like PUBG or Fortnite, it actually will run better on MOQI i7S because it's designed. There was a phone version designed, like made for the phone, instead of running the full PC version on a Win 1, which the Win 1 would not be able to do. And but for some smaller titles like Sonic Mania, Celeste, and like some older PC games, it's really good on the Win 1 that you can't do on the Win 2, even though, I mean on the MOQI i7S, sorry, even though like it's clearly strong enough to run those games, it's just not available on Android. So the build quality, so the sticks are way better on MOQI i7S, even though like the sticks on Win 1 isn't half bad, but it's way better than this. The D-pad as well, so this Win 1 has a spongy D-pad, meaning quite often when you're playing a platforming game, you accidentally hit down or up while you're running on like running to the left or right. And the buttons on the face buttons on the Win 1 is spongy as well, so meaning it feels nice, but I've got mine to get stuck, so it's not the best quality you can get. But with the MOQI i7S, I'm not worried at all because it has the clicky buttons like the 3DS and the PS Vita and the Switch, so it's not gonna get stuck as easily. So the resolution of the Win one is 720p and this is 1080p. And the back triggers is on the Win one is like a mouse click, so it's sort of like this. Whereas on the MOQI i7S is more of like a soft, sort of like a 3DS as well in a way. 3DS triggers. And on the Win one is running off a fan where you can switch on and off based on what games you're playing. That means you have to do this manually, and the more intense the games get, like the lower battery you're gonna get. But the battery on the Win one isn't great, and it gets really hot. And the speakers on the Win one, there's only one speakers on the right hand side where you are supposed to hold your Win one. So a lot of the time your hand would just be covering up the speakers. So the headphone jack's on the back, so you have to plug in the back and then go around the back, and then you can put headphones on. But on the MOQI i7S, they actually located the headphone jack on the bottom, so your cable won't get in the way. And just like the GPD Win, they've both got USB-C for charging, but MOQI i7S actually got fast charging, so it charges really quickly, and it's got way bigger battery, and there's no moving parts inside, so it's not gonna have like fans moving, and so when you drop it, it's not gonna like break as easily. And since there's no fan, the battery is gonna be higher on this one as well. And so let's get some Dolphin comparison going then. So on the MOQI i7S, I've got some Dolphin games, some Wii games, and some GameCube games. And on my GPD Win 1, I've got the same games, so we can compare the exact same games for see how the performance goes. This is only for Dolphin. So let's get going. So for some smaller titles like Mario Strikers, they both run fine. Mario Kart Double Dash, I can just show you all how Mario Kart Double Dash runs on both, like last video. So this time the MOQI i7S actually runs faster. But since Dolphin is actually more stable on Windows because it's still pretty new on Android, despite the MOQI i7S having better hardware, so it's still gonna run a bit better in some games on the Win 1. So the Win 1's got 4 gigs of RAM and the MOQI i7S got 6. The RAM really doesn't matter though, since Dolphin usually only uses 2 gigs of RAM. So just like on my Win 2, my Win 1 is using the same build of Dolphin Ishiruka 744, and you can clearly see the MOQI i7S is running way smoother than the GPD Win 1. They're both running at native resolution with pretty much the same settings, as close as I can get it. So let me bring the camera closer so you can see the frame rate. So on this you're getting about 48. So I'm running off PAL version, so the PAL version of the game only runs at 50 FPS, so this is pretty much a bit lower than full speed, so you're not going to notice it much. On this, it's running at 30 FPS. I can probably get it higher if I like tinker around with the settings, but right now it's getting 30 FPS, which is 20 FPS below the maximum speed. So yes, and the GPD Win 1 is already getting quite warm, while the MOQI i7S is still really cool, not getting hot at all. So let me just quit out of this game, and this as well. So the next game we can compare is, let's try some Wii games. So on the Win 1, I'm running off DirectX Direct 3D 11, and I've pretty much got the settings the lowest I got. So let me try. This is where the MOQI i7S really shines, is for some games that I can't even get running on GPD Win 2. It actually runs surprisingly well on here. So I got Mario Kart Wii here. This is a game that really surprised me how good it ran on the MOQI i7S. So on the title screen, they're both pretty much full speed. So let me get into a match, into a race here. Yeah, the sound's coming from MOQI. You can see the sound on MOQI on the menu is kind of stuttering. Once you get in the game, right, so you can see how slow it was on the. Yeah, for some tracks, MOQI i7S, it's got like a square on the top, but that's to do with Dolphin not being optimized properly for Android, not because there's something wrong with it. And as of now, there's no way to remove the box. So I'm actually surprised how good it's running on the MOQI i7S. So if I pause this right here and bring the GPD Win 1 closer, see how slow this is. It's running at 23 FPS now, 23, 24, so average about 24. it just froze, I think due to caching. So let me just pause that right there, or just leave it there. On the MOQI i7S is running at 30 FPS, so slightly better. But MOQI i7S is the Dolphin on Android. It's got like some frame skip going. I haven't like changed any settings on the frame skip. There isn't any like even a setting for that. It's just default. That's how the Dolphin on Android works. It's gonna skip frames if you can't catch up. So let me try getting to first place, see if that helps with performance. So it's kind of annoying having the black square covering up like pretty much a quarter of the screen. So the performance on both are pretty similar, but due to like frame skipping and like the auto frame skip implemented in it actually feels pretty playable. But I'll wait for the updates on Dolphin Android to get a bit better, see if it helps performance in the future. Alright, that's enough of that. So now let's get to the real meat, the video, comparing like actual demanding like games. And so I'm really surprised that this device actually can run Mario Galaxy. So if I load up Super Mario Galaxy on this device, on the Win one, like everyone knows, like Win one could not handle Mario Galaxy, no matter what settings you put it on. Which is understandable, because sometimes on my Win 2 it still stutters a bit. Yeah, it's not playable at all. So I'm not going to show much, because that's the performance you're going to get on the Win one. But let's jump over to the MOQI i7S and get Mario Galaxy. I'll just load it up from the start. So you can already tell on the title screen, at least, it's running full speed on the title screen. So let me get into a save. You can use the touch screen as the mouse cursor as well. There's also a settings where you can use the accelerometer to tilt your device, and that'll move the mouse accordingly, the cursor. Turn up the sound a bit. So yeah, it's way better on this. So it was really surprising to see. I got the PAL version of this as well, so... Oh, this is actually the NTSC, sorry. It's actually trying to get to 60 FPS here. So the main gripe of this Android version of Dolphin playing Mario Galaxy is these things don't work. This is pretty much the quite important aspect in Mario Galaxy. Like, you need to grab hold of this blue star quite a lot, but that's because I have EFB skip on, So if I toggle EFB skipping off, you can hear the sound. It's getting really slow. But that's the only way you can get these blue star to work. So right now, what I can do is, whenever there's a blue star, I just turn that on, and when I get past that, I just toggle it off again. Since you need that in some parts of the game, but not all the time, so I'm glad there's a toggle for that within the game, so I can toggle it on and off. So let me get into a level here. So it's running 37, 40, 56. So now I'm looking away from the stage now, and it's giving me full speed. So you see these star bits in the background. Normally you can pick up with the cursor, but you can't do that with that anymore because I have skipping EFB on. So let me look back into the stage, and the frame is still pretty consistent on 56 FPS. 54, 50. So I'd say this is pretty playable in here, albeit a bit slow down sometimes. But this is way better performance than you're gonna get on Win 1 or even GPD GPD XD Plus. So I'll try set up a PS2 emulator on this today. So yeah, if there's any more Wii games on the Win 1 and this you want to see running, just let me know. So yeah, you can see there's some slowdown going on here. The sound, sometimes the sound stutters a bit, but the music seems to keep up fine. So this video is getting quite long now, so I'm gonna end it right here. So thanks for watching, guys. So if there's anything, just let me know. Let me know in the comments. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.